Thanks for having me here today, and Michelle, thanks for asking me to close this. I scratched my head a little bit when you asked me to close it because I'm quite possibly one of the most inexperienced people on the topic of cerebral palsy at this entire conference, but I think Michelle's hidden reason for doing it is as follows. Parents that come to these conferences come away with just a wealth of information, and as others have said in this room today, sometimes that information is not only powerful but also completely overwhelming. So what I'd like to do for closing remarks is just give you a couple of takeaways that I've put together based on my experience here at this conference and at prior ones as well, and just kind of a Rolodex of how I'm trying to absorb information and use it to empower myself, empower my child, and change the community that we live in for the better as well. So with that, I've broken it down into those three categories. So Michelle opened the conference today with a song about being brave, and the conference theme is about, are we making a difference? So I wanted to just kind of capture a few ways that you can be brave to make a difference on behalf of your child. So from my perspective, clearly there's a ton of fabulous research going on in the community today. Stay abreast of that research. We learned from Cerebral Palsy Alliance today that there's a great way to go and get access to summary information on that, and keep your eyes and ears peeled for new developments and treatments that could benefit your child. Follow organizations like this one and like the nonprofit organizations represented on the table on the right, and then explore services that are available to your child and ask a lot of questions about them. And what the benefits and processes are that you should be following to make sure they have optimum access. A big thing that I think is key, it was a trend at the National Institute of Health meetings earlier this year or last year, and it's also a trend here, is to really encourage cross-functional collaboration across the various teams of people that work with your child, both doctors, therapists, etc. So making sure that they're holistically recommending strategies for your child that are achievable within the confines of a 24-hour day where hopefully you're sleeping at least a few of those hours. Some ways that you can do that I think are pretty important to highlight. Many hospitals are offering integrated scheduling now. Try and get those appointments back to back to back with these people, because then they're forced to see each other in the hallways, and you can encourage conversations to occur that way. Goal-oriented plans was referenced a lot at the conference here today. And then communication strategies that facilitate conversations, I think is something to look into as well. There are many programs out there where you can advocate for your child's needs. I encourage you to push the envelope where necessary. I know in my brief experience, my son is almost 4 years old, but I've been put on wait lists, or he's been put on wait lists. We've been told there's not enough staffing for that, and we've been, I know Michelle was saying that a healthcare provider recently asked her if she was going to pay for the ramps to get her child into the building. So, when you're told these types of barriers, I highly encourage you to push the envelope on them, because oftentimes they're not legitimate barriers. So be aggressive if you need to be. And then understand your child's limitations, right? There are only so many hours in the day. And discover ways to motivate your child. It's not about what you do for them. It's what you enable them to do for themselves. So motivation, I think, is key, and it's highly reflective in responses to therapies as well. Next theme is being brave in your own life. This is an area where I think parents with children with cerebral palsy find very sobering. It's hard to put yourself first, but I can tell you from experience that if mama's not happy, ain't nobody happy. Keep yourself healthy, keep yourself happy, because it resonates in everything that occurs in both your life, your child's life, and the rest of your family's life. It impacts your friendships, your social life. All of it is a related cycle. So definitely acknowledge your needs as a parent for support, for respite, for rest, etc. accept assistance from those, ask for assistance from people when you need it. I have personally had a really hard time with asking for help because I felt like, as was mentioned in the psychological study earlier today, that might mean I'm not doing a good job at my role as mom of a special needs child. But I have found that on occasion when I have asked for help, it has come in leaps and bounds in ways that I never expected, and it opens your heart and warms your heart to the spirit of humanity. So go to your employer, ask for help. Go to support groups. Go to your church. Go to the rest of the community, your friends and family, and ask for help if you need it. It is available. Evaluate when family may be burning the candle at both ends. It's not quantity, it's quality of life that matters. And then discover some ways that you can manageably volunteer. And I think, I've chosen to start volunteering in the CP community, and I did it in twofold. One is that I want to see things advanced on behalf of what I believe will help my son in the years to come, but I also did it for myself because I feel a personal sense of fulfillment from it, and that makes me a happier person. And again, if mama ain't happy and nobody happy. So I think volunteering is great to find some personal meaning, and it's also a great way to short circuit the time it takes to get educated on new treatments and therapies, to network, to meet doctors, to learn about hospitals and all the things that you're going to need in the years to come. So volunteering can be mutually beneficial both to the community and to yourself. And then being brave in the community, just to wrap it up, be part of a registry. We've learned various ways to go and do that here today. Volunteer to be a self-advocate or a parent representative, either with National Institute of Health or CPRN. And then volunteer, if you choose to do so, your favorite CP nonprofit organization as well. There's a table of the most reputable and fantastic ones over there. Clinical research, you can find all the available research trials at the researchclinicaltrials.gov website. Work locally with teaching hospitals. Many of them have programs where you can help to kind of educate the future doctors and nurses that will be practicing in this field and help them better understand cerebral palsy. Become a peer counselor. Attend meetings like this one and the community forum and spread the word about them. You were here this year. If you found benefit from this, social media would be a great way to talk about how it's helping you navigate the stormy waters of your child's diagnosis. And then lastly, engage with governments and the media to impact systems, access policy awareness, and to change attitudes towards disability. Awareness is a really important thing that we should all be driving to change perceptions around in this country. So thank you for the opportunity to share those thoughts.